tuned in to the motherfucking Ambition Hour podcast on Worth the Wait Radio. You ready?
5, 4.
Yo, and welcome to the Ambition Hour podcast. It's your girl, AuDii 3000, and this is episode 58! And we have a full house today. I am so grateful and so happy to be back here with you guys on this beautiful Saturday. If you're listening to us on SoundCloud, Apple, Spotify, wherever it is that you're listening to us to, thank you so much. And if you're watching us on YouTube, shout out to you guys. How y'all doing? Hopefully you guys are doing good. Thank you for joining us for yet another episode of the Ambition Hour podcast. Before we get into this awesome episode, I want to introduce you guys with who I have. If you guys are listening to us and you can't see that I'm alone, but I'm telling you that I'm not alone. I am joined by the brothers, GDaVinci and John Fifth in the building. Clap it up for them, you guys. And I'm so excited to have them here. John Fifth has been here on episode 15. So it's always good to have somebody come back to the show. It's his first time here. And since having him on the show, I got to see his growth within a year. So I'm really excited to have you here. Before we get into that, I want to go ahead and invite anybody who is not subscribed to the YouTube family to go ahead and join the notification gang. That way, each and every single time that we post something, you guys get notified. And all you got to do to join is hit the subscribe button and the little bell on the side. And that way, every time we post something, you guys get notified. And if you're listening to us on Spotify or anywhere else, you do the same there as well. You can also go to WTWRecords.com, which is the one-stop shop. All Dub T Dub. You can get merchandise. You can get the Dub capsule. You can get t-shirts, sweaters, everything Dub T Dub, and links to everything on the website. Shout out to everybody who watched last week's video, which was the Splashin' Freestyle by Hav. Shout out to Hav in the building. That's my audio visual. Shout out to him. So make sure that you go ahead and go back and check that project out if you haven't checked it out. Also, shout out to the real Ashton Martin, who came here last week and was just awesome. He dropped a project, and it's so good. Me and Hav have been listening to it. So, Ashton Martin, we wish you nothing but success. Now, boys, tell the people, you're going to go first. Tell the people, like, a little bit about yourself.
I mean, you already know it's GDaVinci. You know? I was born in New York, but kind of raised, like, you know, I would say in both New York and Miami. I came out here at a young age, and music has always been a part of my life. You know, my father's a musician, my mother's a musician, and our whole family's musician, and of course
my brothers, damn.
And they're brothers, guys. This is the first brother dude like that.
I learned a lot of him. I'll say
little
that.
bro, you know what
Early.
it is. So I mean, that's what it's been, music. So that's what we do. You know, and we play instruments, and we produce our own music, and we've been in the studio and making music, and that's what we've been doing our whole life. So,
It's a fact.
I mean,
You said it. We've been in music since early. My name is John Fifth. I was born in Miami-Dade County. Kendall, stand up. I moved to the Bronx. I've been out there for like 3 years. I came back. I went back. You know, but it's always love for Miami, and anywhere I go in New York, I always say I'm John Fifth from Miami. And if I got my Miami, you know, clothing on, I wear it. Like my Marlins jersey, my Heat hat, you know, I represent for Miami all day. And yeah, that's what it is.
You've been living in New York for 3 years?
On and off.
Oh, okay.
It's like a love-hate relationship.
Cause that cold, or?
I mean, yeah. I left the
Snowing
first
there.
time. I left the first time because I had a situation where it just wasn't working for me out there. So, I mean, you know, I came back out here. I did my thing, and it was working out here. And then it just kind of transitioned back.
And you were just there, right?
Yeah, right.
How
right.
was being there? Cause you guys performed.
Yeah, it was amazing. You know, I mean, a lot of our friends and family went out to the first show.
That's a fact. Shout out to
them.
them.
That was in Midtown, and the other show was like a little more low key. You feel me? Just on kind of on the spot. But it was a dope ass show. The turnout was crazy. It was a lot more people there.
Yeah.
And everybody was fucking with our shit. Vibes was crazy.
That's
you know,
awesome.
Vice City.
I got to see you guys perform yesterday. That was so cool.
That was cool. Shout out to you for pulling up.
Yeah,
They showed
thank
you
you.
mad love in there too. Shout out Ambition Hour
my
podcast. They known in the
God.
streets.
Yo,
Don't sleep on them because she walked in and they were
they
like,
put like 30 horns.
yeah. That's a fact.
Stop it. You're gonna make me blush. That had
That's
me
a
blushing
fact.
yesterday, like,
There you
super
go.
hard. Shout out to Killer K, because he's the reason why it was like that. Like, and then everybody else that was at Miami Live, too, they were just showing mad love. Like, everybody that's still there. It was fun. And it was cool to see you guys perform. It was crazy, because I literally walked in as soon as you guys were walking on stage.
Walking on stage, perfect timing.
And I was like, cause when I saw the track list, I was just like, oh, I got time. I've been there, so like I know how it kind of works. Sometimes there's something that happens.
Yeah.
DJ takes a little longer or whatnot, but that was pretty cool. So you guys are performing more together now, right? Because of the project you guys have coming.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So yeah, we've been these last couple of weeks. We've actually been performing together. We worked it out. Since we live in different states, it's tough to do it all the time. But we both perform in our own ways, you know. And anytime we link up, we do as many shows as we could.
Yeah, basically it's just to promote the album right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Get the ball rolling. Vice City, man. You know what it is.
How hard has it been doing the project since you guys are on like opposite like sides of?
Let me hold this one because it hasn't been hard. It's actually worked out better because we're both people who work great by ourselves. Like, I got my own setup in my room now. He got his own setup. He got his own studio. He's been has his own studio. And so working by ourselves, like, he'll send me, the reason he produced the whole project is because we were sending tracks back and forth, but everything he would send me would be, like, I know him. This is my brother. So he produced it from the ground up. It'll be like a crazy track. I'll write something to it, and I try to record every night. So I'll record a track where he send me today, and then tomorrow we'll be there, and it'll just work. And we have like 30 tracks, let's say, for the project. And out of the 15 that we're choosing, or maybe even more, all of them are produced by him because those are just the ones that worked. So it's actually been great. There's been, obviously, you know how you work and shit be like, there be, you know, like little trials and tribulations, but but it's nothing that has held us back. It's actually made us stronger and made us push the bar even higher. And that's why we've been holding the project, because we don't even know if we'll create the next, you know, the biggest record of the project. You know, yeah.
Because you guys just don't stop making music.
It's an everyday thing. It's an
And
everyday
you never
thing.
know. I mean, that's what it is. That we've already had like at least 3 or 4 tracks that we've added to the album.
Yeah, it's a fact.
We've you know, after we decided, oh, we're gonna drop this date, we're like, you know what, damn, you know, these tracks are hard as fuck. Let's hold up. You know what I'm saying?
What else could we create? Like,
Sure.
what else could come from this? You know.
But obviously, we don't want to get redundant where it's like to a point where like, okay, you know what I'm saying? Like,
It's 2024, and it said like, yo, Vice City coming now. We're not doing that neither.
You know,
We definitely gonna drop.
I mean, I've been waiting for the project ever since I
Yeah.
heard about it, and then ever since you guys dropped the everything, the drip and different.
Yeah.
I was like, really, they're only gonna drop what? Just one. So I'm really excited for that. So you guys are brothers. I work with my brothers, so I kind of know how it is. What is like the biggest obstacle that you guys like go through as working as brothers together?
You wanna go or I go? Who?
I'll take this one.
Go ahead. Let's see.
I feel like, you know, as far as like when it comes to like business decisions and stuff like that, he sees himself as little bro, or he sees himself like we're looking at him as little brother and not as, you know, John Fifth, you know what I'm saying, the entrepreneur, the rapper that he is, you feel me? So I mean, that's probably like the only issues I would say we run into, but otherwise, I mean, I'm good at just kind of letting him rock and just in this project just taking the creative side of it, you know, and just letting him make the executive decisions and, you know, let him be out there and stuff like that.
Is he like are you stubborn?
Okay. So that was gonna be my answer. My answer was we're the same person.
Okay.
Yeah.
In a way.
I was
So
gonna say
that's
that.
where we'll crash heads, because it's like I understand him and he understands me,
Yeah.
but we're the same person. So you know how you could clash heads like that. But it's never nothing that we've been through so much. I mean, this is my older brother, so we've been through all types of everything. So we already know, like, all right, we're not gonna let that hold us back. Like any little argument or something like that, it's never nice. So, and like he said, he's taking full creative control of the project, and I've definitely encouraged that, because this is GDaVinci. Like, one thing you gotta know about this dude right here, he's like, in my opinion, he's one of the illest, like, in the whole shit. Like, not for real. That's not just because he's my brother. Like, you could check his music before this project. You could check his music from way back. He's produced for a bunch of people. He's been on a part of a bunch of teams, and like, his talent has always been out the roof. So working this project is something we never did. It was something that we would always talk about, but he was more in the Spanish world and I was more just rapping. And like, you know, it's just something you talk about. Like, yeah, we're gonna do a project one day. Well, we never really did it, and then we just started sending each other tracks back and forth, and it came about. And he was just fucking going off, and y'all gonna hear on Vice City what I'm talking about. he was doing his thing, so yeah, it's worked out beautifully.
So, wait, cause something that me and my brother work on a lot is like communication. Like if there's something that I don't like that he is doing, or like vice versa, then we like automatically talk about it.
That's fire,
right?
And I have sorry to cut you off, but I had this real dope seeing y'all work together, and seeing what y'all do. It's real dope. Like it's you know. Something to mention, but yeah, bro, my bad.
But yeah, so like that's just something that we like to work on a lot, because we feel that it's something that if I'm working with you all the time and I'm like not keeping it 100 with you, like how are we going to succeed and continue to grow as just our own individuals, but as together, like in the company? So like, have you guys ever had like miscommunications where it's like gone like too overboard?
We've in the past, before the project, like when we were younger, me on my end too, because he's my older brother, so he's always been more, you know. But now as in the project, we're already in the point where we understand each other, and like, you know, we'll get into an argument, and that's it. It's like the next day we'll be like, yo, so act like it never happened. Like, yo, so this is what we're gonna do. Yeah, fact.
But you know, it's just good thing about that from now, like we know, like, okay, you know what, we're not gonna let that deter us from
facts.
We're gonna keep our eye on the prize.
It's been crazy. We've lost a whole hard drive one time, man.
What? Oh hell no.
Let's talk about it.
What? How did you guys lose the hard drive?
Yo, let's talk about it.
Hard drive or like?
Nah, so we were arguing, yo, cause I'm telling you, you know, we be the same person. Okay, so I got the bullhorns, you know, and like, yo, it was just like an argument that kept on going, and it was over the hard drive. It was over something that was on the hard drive, but I was overstepping, you know, and he was just putting me in my place, and I was just like, damn. But nothing. That's it. We didn't really lose the whole thing because we were able to recoup everything, so it was cool. After the fact.
The point is that.
The point is.
Yo, we got into it got a little crazy.
It got crazy. Yeah. No, I'm trying to tell it as honest as I could. You know, I'm not trying to make myself seem like nothing.
It got a little crazy. And my mother,
I didn't want to bring her into it, but okay.
He's throwing mom.
Yo, she's the one.
My mother grabbed the hard drive and threw it
in the toilet and flushed it, cause that's what we were going at it.
The hard drive's not gonna.
Flush. And the funny thing is that as we were going at it still, like we was like throwing, like we was going, and then once she put the shit in the toilet, we both stopped and looked at each other like, yo, and we went to her like, are you crazy? And we took the shit out and like, yo. What did we do? I don't know what we did, but we saved it. I know we saved it. Yeah. I forgot what we did, but we both, that was like the breaking point. Like, it was like going at it, and then we stopped. Like,
I mean, you know what? I was already doing music, and he just started doing music, so I don't know. I don't know why we clashed. I couldn't really tell you, but I guess it was just
shit, brother shit, man. If you got a brother, you understand.
I can stand him.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You got a brother, so you understand. You know.
Like I can stand him.
This is brother shit. You gotta, you know.
Okay.
That's.
Yeah, but no, I mean, what we got out of it now is I think of him as like my best friend. So you know what I'm saying.
It's a fact.
You know, we're always in contact, always communication.
Every day.
And I know this project's gonna do, you know, something ill. You feel me? Like. That's what we
fact.
Were the songs that you guys performed yesterday like on the project?
Yeah.
So they are, yeah. Unreleased.
I was just like, I know that this is on the project, so I'm getting to hear like new shit.
Yeah.
And I got to see it perform, because that to me is more cooler than I guess like listening to it just on my headphones.
Okay.
Like to see somebody perform it, and it's just like it hasn't even been like released or anything. That shit is dope. I'm excited I got to see you guys.
We appreciate you coming out too, 100. You know. Definitely.
So I wanted to get into this question. If you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I asked this question like a week ago. And it was a serious question, and it's if a man cheats on a woman and she takes him back and he cheats again, is it the woman's fault or vice versa? So just to like let you guys know the results from the Instagram, because we did it both on the Instagram on the Ambition Hour podcast, and we also did it on my Instagram. And so it was 14 people voted yes, and 34 people voted no. So it was 29% and 71%. So I just wanted to like hear your guys' take on that.
Is it the girl's fault
Yeah, or vice versa. Could it be the man's fault as well? Like if the woman were to cheat.
You can give somebody a chance. I believe in that. You feel me? But then, second time, I guess from there you should know.
Like,
You know what I'm saying? Like, so I would guess I would say no.
that it's not her. That it's not his or her fault.
Yeah, it's or like if you're saying like if it's somebody's fault directly or whose fault it is.
Yeah, it's like is it the woman's fault because he's cheated a second time and like believed him that he wasn't going to do it again, or is it no, it's not her fault, it's his fault. Or the person who cheated.
I don't know. I think every situation is different.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
what
saying,
I said. We
honestly.
spoke about this.
We did.
I said like every
I think
situation is
every
different.
Situation is different. It really depends on.
It depends on the
but
relationship, the time, you know. The
I
factors.
wouldn't know how to answer that unless I knew the situation. You feel me? Honestly.
Okay, so there's a situation that somebody presented me, which was, what if the woman is the one who's being cheated on, and she's taken the man multiple times back, but only because she's not from here, so she's from a different country, and he's the one who's supporting her and the kids.
No, like that, you already know what time it is. You feel me? Like the dude's
Yeah.
unfaithful. You feel me? That's just the way he rolls. You know. So, at that point, you know what I'm saying, it's a dude's fault. But I mean, it's a girl's fault for not noticing that. But then
Yeah.
at the end of the day, she's here from her own country. But
If she's benefiting off of it, then that's why she's doing it.
That's
so
why he continues to
she
do
gotta,
it.
yeah. So she gotta kind of see it in that light.
Yeah.
I guess I would say that's my opinion.
What did
If
you
she's
say?
if she's okay, so if she's benefiting off of the situation, then she can't see it as a relationship. She gotta see it as this was gonna help me progress.
Yeah.
So if the dude's gonna cheat and that's what's gonna help her progress, I mean,
we all give me like life advice.
I know. Yeah.
It's not life advice, it's a question.
Nah, it's the question of the week. Question of the week.
It's a
Listen out.
question. And it was crazy. Okay, so last week I didn't explain why this question came to my mind, but you guys see what's going on in social media, like with what is this girl? Chloe, Jordan Woods, and Tristan Thompson. So that's what not that that's what I was basing it off of, because I also had another conversation with somebody that it was like about infidelity and cheating and stuff like that, and then that's also going on like in the media. So it's like I have bigger things to worry about because I have that shit kind of like lingering in my own life. So so people were saying that it was Chloe's fault that he that he cheated again, and then with the whole thing with Cardi, that she goes and she starts to like defending him. So that's kind of like where the question comes from, because it's kind of like, why is it the girl's fault, or why is it the person who's being cheated on's fault? That's just how I felt. So, because I feel like when we spoke, it was just like, you just have to kind of like understand, like, okay, this is not what I'm willing to accept. So if I'm not willing to accept this, like, why would I even allow you to do it a second time?
Yeah, right.
Because for me, like, one time, like, bruh, like, I'm so sorry. Like, it's not going to work. Like, it's not going to be able to continue in the same way that it once was. But then it goes into, like, the whole thing about being married, and then there's kids into the aspect. So, like, you think about that. So, like, with you saying the whole thing about that it depends on the situation, that's also it, too. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's a very touchy subject, but it's also something that...
I mean, you can know the difference between a mistake, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And something that's going to keep happening over and over and over and over and over and over again.
It's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? So, it just depends on you. What are you willing to and is your person, like, are you willing to let that happen and keep going with it? You feel me?
It takes a big person to forgive, because it's hard to forgive.
Yeah.
So,
We can't. Sometimes we can't even forgive ourselves.
That's a
Like,
fact.
like it's hard to like really acknowledge when you're wrong, and then but also when another person is wrong, and then to just forgive them. I know you're married, because we have your lady in the building. She's so cute. And you guys have been together for how long?
We've been together 15 years. Married almost 10.
They've been together since they were like 16, right?
Better answer that right.
She just answered it wrong.
She answered it wrong earlier when we were talking about it. She's like, oh, it's because, we're getting married, and I see you, girl. And, okay, so we had our first guy that was married for the first that was our first guest. So you're gonna be our second one. So shout out to you. Shout out to the married men. Hey. That's awesome. Okay, so thank you guys for talking about that with me. Something that I also wanted to talk about was, do you guys think that the artist should be separated from the art? Like examples like R. Kelly, Michael Jackson, Chris Brown.
I mean, R. Kelly's a tough one because it's like crazy, but
yeah. There's some things that
Chris Brown, let's say it was a mistake, right? Because there hasn't been any other, things coming out from that. But R. Kelly, I don't know. It's tough. It's like he's paying his consequences, so it's not like we're the ones to judge. It's not we're not God to judge him and be like the ones to like. It's tough. It's tough, huh? That's tough.
I mean, nothing makes that right, but at the end of the day, you're not gonna say you're gonna judge or anything, But
it's tough.
You do. I mean, it's like there's a bunch of content out right now that people celebrate with and people associate with, and it'll be done to be like, oh, you know what? I'm not fucking with that no more.
Yeah, you're doing a force.
That's it. I'm not watching these movies.
Yeah.
Because there's mad directors and stuff that have got into funny stuff. It's not really out there like that into the media. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, you keep watching those movies.
Yeah.
The director's a little different though. When it's like if the director was acting in the movie, then maybe. But R. Kelly, he's singing the song. When I heard Ignition after I seen the shit, and I was there vibing like, damn, yo, he's fucking dirtbag. Like this dude sucks. But it's like.
But
it's tough.
What? Yeah, it's
like,
such a subject because I actually saw that documentary by mistake. I swear I was scrolling to the guy.
A lot of hours.
Like surviving R. Kelly. What is this? What do you mean by that?
What do you mean by that?
So I put that on. I saw that. And I was like, wow, this guy.
You see the shit, you're like, yo, what the fuck is that? That's crazy. I heard Oprah's doing one on Michael Jackson.
She is.
That's wild.
That is
wild. He's dead,
That what?
Oprah's doing one on Michael Jackson.
Well, no, the documentary already came out.
Okay.
What they're doing is she's interviewing the people that were in the documentary.
To see what has happened.
Yeah,
what is it? Oh my god.
Michael
I'm
Jackson.
So tired of this, yo.
That's what I mean.
Every week is a new dudes, you know what I'm saying? And somebody
that's content
too, though,
it's
bro.
content for them, so
it's like
that's
this
what
guy
I feel like they see.
For this
that's
and
wild.
This and this, and you're like, yo, who's next? Like, what's going on here, yo?
For real.
It was different times back then. That's what I hear a lot of the older generation say, and it's like that doesn't make it acceptable, but it's like things were different back then, but now it's different. So everybody's trying to go out the standards of today from back then.
For real.
And it's like, but it's not acceptable, I'm not trying to.
You know what I'm saying? And to the max,
crazy.
Real quick. So it's crazy, man.
Yeah.
So you have 3 kids, right?
Yep.
How do you balance doing music and having your kids?
I mean, right now.
On the honor roll too.
Yeah. you already know. I mean, right now we're pros at it. You feel me? So, at first, you just gotta. It's a struggle, and you just gotta learn. But once you figure out the system, you feel me? We're pros at it. So.
And because your lady does music too, right? She does everything.
She does. She's the whole DaVinci thing. You feel me? That's because DaVinci he did multifaceted. He did a bunch of things. So that's why we're on those vibes. And she does music too. She sings fire.
Do you guys have songs together?
We do.
Aww.
We do have songs together.
Like bachata songs or?
We do have bachata songs too, but we have all types of music together.
Oh,
we're working on music now too.
For those that don't know what bachata is, can you explain it to them?
Bachata is
we're worldwide. People don't know what bachata is.
Bachata is Dominican music. It's basically consists of 2 guitars, a bass, bongos, and guira. So it's like.
If you know Aventura, the group, Aventura's worldwide too. They do bachata music. So.
What is it that girls love me like I'm Aventura?
There you go.
Drake line.
And yeah, I mean, I think he's maybe the most famous.
Who? Yeah, Romeo. Yeah, Romeo. That's a fact. That's
like,
what I'm saying.
He's done songs with Usher, Drake, and a bunch of people.
Yeah.
Dang, cause he did a video on his Instagram story and he was singing on his Listen, that man has a really good voice.
Yeah.
Well, but you're doing like a form of bachata, right? That it was like.
Well, I was for I did a song that's like a trap chata for a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And just throwing things out there. And I've actually always done that. Like try to innovate in what Dominican music like merengue.
You play a lot of
bachata.
instruments, right? How many Because I remember you
I
saying.
mean, I don't have it counted out, but like. It's like percussion instruments and like piano, guitar, like saxophone and stuff. This man too, so I'm front,
Play a couple.
We got him last
Play
time.
sax. Yeah, a couple things. I used to.
Yeah. Nah, I mean I play a lot of percussion and stuff because that's why I produce bachata, merengue and stuff like that, and that consists more of live instrumentation. So. I mean, that's what I've toured on a lot too, so that's why I got an opportunity to tour a lot with bachateros and merengue and stuff like that, playing piano, singing,
Dang,
playing
that's
percussion and stuff like that.
Isn't it beautiful when you get to do something that you're just like so passionate about?
Man, there's nothing better than that. It's not even work, you know what I'm saying? Like, I could be doing this all day, going out, doing, doing things like, that pertain to music.
Yeah,
and I'm not even gonna be stressed about it.
Yeah, that's how it was yesterday. Cause yesterday, we did the interview. Then we went to go shoot a video. Then I went to go to the performance, and it's just like, bro, I could do this every day.
Yeah.
Like just because it has to do with music, and it's like I'm around music, I'm around the DJ, I'm around performances, I'm around the behind the scenes, I'm doing something in front of the scenes, and I love it. Do you teach your kids to like really like chase what is it that they want to do? Do you like tell them like go for it?
You know what? They're all interested in different things. Like my youngest Noah, he wants to do basketball now, and my daughter wants to ice skate.
Ooh, ice skating is fun.
And my oldest wants to MMA it out. He's 13. We had our first one when we were both. Well, she was 17. I mean, 18. Yeah.
She looks good.
She does.
You're welcome. We get compliments over here. These boys came fresh too. You guys have to see John Fist thing. They match the mic. Like,
You feel me?
what's like one of the hardest things living in New York, of having your family here?
What's the hardest thing? The weather.
The weather.
You see snaps out here and like posts. I'm like, yo,
The tourists.
I'm a block, y'all. Like, I'm not trying to see this. Right now. It's fucking 10 degrees right now. I got a shirt, a hoodie, a fucking 2 pair of pants on. I got 2 socks on. Like, nah,
you seen when I FaceTime him?
Stressful.
He's tight.
It's not cool.
There with the L, like, you know what I'm saying?
It's
Like,
not cool.
backyard with
Girl.
shorts, and he's like, yo, what do you want? Like, in the snow, you feel me? Walking is crazy.
Bro,
Not cool.
the coldest place that I am in is in my office. That's it. Everywhere else is so hot. Like, it'd be hot in the whip. But y'all be getting like mad snow. So that's the hardest thing about living over there?
I mean, I'm just,
Everything nice.
the weather, it's
Everything
cool.
is
It's
nice.
cool. It's different. It's like, I've grown accustomed to it. So it's like, I actually come out here now and I feel like I don't want to say out of place, but I'll be like, and that kind of gets me mad because I'm from Miami. I love Miami so much. And I'm like, I'm only trying to be Miami. And like, I've been out there so long that I've grown accustomed to things that now I realize is like not normal and shit. But what I like about it, the fast pacedness, the whole opportunity to meet people, the money too out there is lit, but what's the most difficult thing of living out there? I mean, that city kills you. That city, that's like, I can't even pinpoint what it is. Like, it's just the
I
fast
think,
life
honestly,
out
it's
there.
being away from the family.
Yeah, I
That's
guess that
what
could
I'm
be
trying
true.
to find out. I'm like, I don't care. Like, do you
Yeah.
miss your family?
I mean, yeah,
John, do
of
you
course,
miss your
all
family?
day, yeah. To be
He's
more
like,
direct.
"Try a little bit."
You know,
Yeah,
it gets
man, I
cold.
think about them every now and then, on Sundays.
I
But
love that he's here.
Nah. I be. That's the thing. It's be so fast paced that I be forgetting to call sometimes, and it's not even out of like, oh, I don't love my family. It's not like that. Come on, man. You know what it is. And we actually talk every day, me and my brother. But we working on the project. But even when we weren't, like, it's like you said, my father be telling me a lot, like, yo, you need to call me more. I'm like, you're right.
That's the word.
Right.
That's the people that is so hard to call.
Yo, because it's like, Yo.
It's so, because like when my parents go out of town, like they're like, yo, you didn't call us the
You didn't call
whole
that,
time.
and they be thinking
Like,
like,
yo, I was
yeah, I
doing
love
shit.
y'all. Yo, like, it's not that I don't love y'all. Like,
I
damn.
was
It's
doing
just, you
shit.
know.
Okay, so what advice would you give yourself as a 17-year-old?
I would say be more consistent and drop more music.
Damn, that's dope. What about you?
I would say don't give a fuck, man. I would say stop giving a fuck. Like, you know, just like he said, be more consistent, drop more music, and just be out there. Like, to all you 17, to the 17-year-old me, just fucking do it. Like, it's nothing. It's like how Shia LaBeouf said, just fucking do it. Like, you know,
Yeah.
it's really that simple. It's really that simple. Jump in head first and like don't give a fuck. Straight up.
But honestly, if I were to give advice to a young person, I would say that, you know what I'm saying, create more content, create the most content you can, and just drop it. And don't to add to his, don't give a fuck about you know what anything. You know, create your own following, create your own vibe.
Yeah.
And there's money to be made online. You know what I'm
Look,
saying?
a track doesn't do nothing in your email. A track on SoundCloud, as much as you might hate it, somebody might love it. So drop it. If later on in your career you feel like, oh, that doesn't represent who you are, then take it down. But at the moment you create the track, drop it or do something with it. Don't just, you know, don't sit on music because you don't like it, because somebody else might.
Also to take everything professionally. But I've always done. I'm just saying, if I was to give advice,
Yeah.
you know, put good content out.
Yeah.
Put some money behind it.
Nah, yeah, that's a fact too. Definitely go to a studio too.
So,
we was going to studio early though too.
Because you guys do go to a lot of studios and stuff. What advice would you give to like artists that are coming up that are paying for studio time and like, or even like producers? Because both of you guys produce, you know, music.
I'll go first on that one. Invest your money. Like, if you gotta stay broke to go and buy a beat or to go to the studio or to mix and master a record, do it, because that's what counts. That's what matters. That's what makes your music sound from here to here. Like, that's what separates you, you know?
Yeah,
so invest your money. Don't go cheap on it. Don't, you know? It definitely makes a difference.
Have you ever picked like a beat or a studio session over something else that you should have gotten?
It happens, and then I think I get mad. That's why a lot of times I don't like going out. As much as I want to go out, I think like, okay, I'll go and I'll drop 200, 300 in a spot, whatever you do, and it's like that's 2-3 records mixed, or that's 4 hours in the studio, or that's how I calculate everything in my life. Even sometimes like I be, you know, everything I calculate is like, what could I have done with that money for music to better the purpose, you know, to keep going forward.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, you gotta look at it as a business. You know what I'm saying?
Facts. You gotta invest.
You're a business. You feel me? So it's like if you open up your own spot, you're gonna try to get the best things, but you know you're gonna try to, cause you want the people to go there. You feel me? So it's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? When you're investing in music, you gotta get the best things. You want the best sound. Yeah. But obviously, once you start building relationships, you can get better prices and stuff like that. But you know, at first. You might take an L, like
you're gonna have to go and you're gonna have to start from the
bottom,
wise,
but you're gonna get a good product. You feel me? I would say that.
Fact.
Something that Biggs Burke said was that his whole thing, like when he first started like being into hip hop, or like even when he got out of jail, was just like he wanted to build relationships. Like that he was putting the relationship before the business, because if we're going to be doing business together, then I need to know that we're going to be cool and that the relationship is going to be good. Because when there's a relationship, there's communication. And then when there's communication, business just goes a lot better. So that's something that I also tell artists as well. It's just like you want to build relationships, because you don't know who you're going to need in the future, who's going to be able to help you excel into the next level, or that can take your career.
It's actually happened to me.
Yeah, exactly. Like
in the sense of I broke a relationship way back, and it's like now that relationship could have helped me. But you know, I see it as like I never dwell on shit like that. And I didn't even break the relationship. That's the funny part. Somebody I was associated with broke the relationship, and being associated with them kind of messed the whole thing up. And it was like.
And you never thought to like go back and kind of mend it?
I mean, I'm the type of person that I'm always like, I'm upfront. Like I'll go and I'll tell you, like, if I fucked up, I'll be like, I fucked up. In that situation, I didn't fuck up, but I was still like, you know, that whole thing that happened, it really wasn't had to do nothing with me, and I really got no problems. But you know how it is, once somebody got some type of, you know, feeling towards you, it's hard for them to let it go. In my end, I'm like, yo, if we're gonna build, I'm a real, you know, I won't say forgiving, but I'm easier to forgive. Like I'm easier to forget. Really, like I just be like, you know, it's unless it's something serious, but it never be
really
nothing
feeling
serious.
some
It be
type
some
of
dumb
way.
shit. Like you know, it always be some dumb shit. So be like,
I mean, at the end of the day, that's a good point that the artist that you said, because you know, dealing with especially in the music industry, you're gonna deal with a lot of shady people. You feel me?
yeah,
And you're investing your money, so you wanna know who you're working with. You know.
For sure. There have been some people that like want to work with me and just based because I'm really big on energy and big on like who I associate like my brand with. So for me, if I see that the relationship isn't even good, like why am I going to work with you? If if the first time that we communicate it's not good either, like why am I going to work with you? Just doesn't make sense with me, with my soul, with my being. Like then I'm gonna have to be around that energy, and then I'm gonna have to be fake. It's not gonna be authentic.
and you're associated with
yeah,
that
and then I'm
energy
associated
too.
with that energy, and it's just like
There
I
you
don't
go.
need that. Just because I feel like I worked so hard into building into what it is that I have, you know, made for
Absolutely.
myself. So it's like I kind of like you kind of have to like protect that.
Yeah,
Like
absolutely.
I'm really big on like protecting your brand and who it is that you are. I see that you guys do the same. You know what I mean? Because you guys work together. You guys work very ethically, and you guys are like popping. You guys are good.
Yeah. I mean, it took us a little bit to, you know, we learned a lot from, I think a lot from the experience that we went through musically, as far as like, it took me, cause I was out of the music scene for a couple years, like, when I say out of the music scene, I'm saying like not publicly out there. I'm still making music on the low, you know, always trying to innovate and stuff like that. But as far as working with the Spanish or like bachata and stuff like that, a lot of those people were shady. You feel me? So I didn't. I kind of took like some time off. Like damn, yo, you know what? I want to do my own shit, and I feel like that's good. Another advice is like, yo, do your own things. You know what I'm saying? Do whatever. Invest in yourself to whatever to do. Invest in yourself. Whatever you have to invest, put it. You know, invest in yourself so that you can do whatever you're trying to do. If you have to go to school for mixing, mastering, you want to know how to make beats. You know what I'm saying?
Did you go to school for that or no?
I went to school for that. I did actually. You know, but honestly I was doing that my whole life. You know, honestly, I grew up like playing instruments and playing piano and stuff like that. But I did go to school for that. I was always in school in chorus and band, and then I went to college. I didn't finish. I dropped out to go to school in New York.
I was talking the other day with the guest that we had. I was telling him how I was going to school and then I took one radio production class and I was like, all right, I'm out.
I'm a pro. With it.
I think I got this from here on. So that was really the funnest class that I took the whole time that I was at Miami-Dade. Then after that I was out. Oh yeah, thank you. It happened a little later because I went like that was a couple years ago that I took that radio production class.
Planted the seed.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do this in high school, so I was interviewing him when we were like 12, 13 years old, so
Fire.
I've been low-key practicing for some time. Would you guys like you guys grew up in a house where there was like instruments and stuff, so were you ever like rapping when you were younger?
So he actually influenced me to rap, because I would always say like, yeah, I want to rap. He'd be like, yo, you'll be a dope rapper. You need to like start doing it. I would
You
make
have a
beats.
great voice, by the way.
Thank you, I appreciate
You're
that.
welcome.
And that's why it was just a no-brainer. You know what I mean? Like, yo. And he was already, this dude's been making beats since he was 9, because it was like
It was more like,
competition.
yeah, competition.
You feel me? Like, oh,
Like-
I'm going to make this beat better than you. Watch. And he'll do something, you feel me? And we'll be like,
Go back and
beats.
forth. Yeah.
At 9 years old, I was thinking about NSYNC. Like, really? Like, this dude's over here making beats. All
I
right.
listened to
He grew
hip
up
hop
with us.
early because
That's
of
why
them.
he raps like that. Like, he was born out here in Miami, but you kind of feel like a lot of people be like, oh, I thought he was from New York. And he's like, the things that he grew up with us listening to, you know.
I was listening to, you know, real
Mobb
hip hop, Mobb Deep, Nori,
Jay,
CNN,
Nori, Nas, you feel me?
Jay-Z,
So,
of course, yeah. So,
you know, that's the type of music, the beats that we used
that's
to
the
make.
shit I
back
would
in the
study.
day.
I would be in the back seat. We riding somewhere and I'm there. They talking. They say, you know, when you young, you're not really paying attention to them. You more just like looking around. I would be hearing the music and I'll be hearing the flows. I'll be hearing the shit, and that's what I always loved. You know, so that's what.
But
that
at the
comes
same
from.
time, my father is still a musician.
Yeah.
And he did tropical like merengue, salsa, bachata. So we were always even performing with him on stage.
We had to perform with him.
It
wasn't a
perform?
choice.
It was like,
yo, Tuesday night we're gonna be here, and you're gonna play this, you're gonna play that.
And when we got older, we got to the point like, oh, you're not gonna do that for me? Like, no, of course.
Yeah, you can't say no to Pop.
So it was like the Selena, like how that family was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even with the strictness, like, yo, you doing this? Like, Pop.
Jackson 5.
That's
That's
true.
true.
That's what we said.
Yeah.
Because how many of you guys is it?
4. We the Vasquez 4, I guess you could call it. 5th 4.
Just 4.
And
So it's you two and another.
my sister and my other brother.
Oh,
I live
okay.
in New York.
And then you're older. You're the oldest.
No.
I'm not. My brother. Shout out to Fredo, man.
Yeah, Fredo, man.
Shout out to the other brother.
That's a
And
fact.
to his sister.
Yeah.
Shout out your sister.
Nah, we had to start with
Y'all
Fredo.
petty.
He's like the
You see
leader of the
how I
pack.
had
We was
to
working
do
our way down. Shout out to Steve.
No.
We love you.
Y'all wasn't. I had a call.
She just made a big move to St. Petersburg.
Yeah, shout out to her, yo.
Yeah, that's
We're
We're excited
awesome.
for her.
That's a fact.
So they would make you guys perform on Tuesdays. That's something that my dad never really forced on us. But there was always music around the house, and there was always microphones.
I mean, growing up, we didn't have like they didn't buy us no video games and all that. We just had instruments around the crib. So like if we was bored, it would just be like, all right, like yo, play this beat or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And then like we'll just jam
what's
out
funny?
together.
I caught your kids doing that. They were playing on the piano like together, his son and his daughter, and I thought in my head like, yo, that's crazy because that's how we started.
Yeah.
You know, and it's just dope
But
to see
except
that.
they got all the games though.
They got the games, but they still gravitate towards music, so that's dope to see.
that's
You know, I
dope.
just wanted to, you know.
My kids are we got tracks with our kids.
Oh yeah, they actually got a track, yo, and it's fire too, yo. I'm not gonna lie to you. I played this shit. I was like, yo.
What are they doing? They're like singing or
Singing, they produce, they
Like
help
rapping,
produce too.
man.
I'm like, yo.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's no
man.
games, no games.
They play piano.
I was talking about putting them in like acting and shit. Fuck that. Put them
That's
on a
how
track.
we said I was like,
Who we
if
gotta
you
call?
on me, you feel me?
We gotta call to get them on the track. Damn, that's
Shit.
dope. That's cause I mean everything happens for a reason. But I wish like my dad would have been more like, yo, like really get into like this radio or like with this music. But I think it's cool how it worked out for us because we just did it on our own.
That's a fact. Everything
And
happens
then
for a reason.
it was on our own and it was our way. So
That's just more. That's dope. That's like.
That's even
genuine, like,
that's even more. That's dope
Yeah.
as fuck because it's like.
Like, but you know what?
You
I
push
know a lot of
yourself.
people that grew up with music like us, and they're like, nah, fuck that shit. You know, we ain't doing that. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, that they played like an instrument like all through high school, like all up until high school, and then it's just like they're over it.
Yeah. No, I mean, shit. I think we just really love that shit, generally, and like that's what we want to do. You know what I'm saying? 24/7 all day long. You know. Yeah. That's the major goal to just live and successfully off it.
Does your parents like listen to your guys' projects?
Not mine.
Sometimes.
What do you mean
Yes.
not mine?
I'm a rapper. He did more Spanish. Don't listen to mine.
Like,
Nah, I'm lying. Let me.
Yeah, cause especially my pops,
You're
he's
like, "Don't
Christian,
let us
so he does Christian music.
Yeah.
He sort of drops.
They always
Christian
telling me like, yo,
music.
you gotta curse that much. Yo, you gotta talk about this. Yo, you gotta do that. And it's like, my bad, pop.
so
Yeah.
it's like,
This
you
is
know
my
what I'm
life,
saying?
you know?
We let him listen, but it's like, oh, which one can we show him? We're like,
Yeah, I'll be like, nah, and I'll be like,
hold up.
I got this one song I did back in the day that you can hear, you know?
That's how it is with him sometimes. Like when he does music videos,
Yeah.
he's like, "Did you have to be doing that?"
Yeah.
Y'all know what I'm talking about.
No, and then, you know, it's imagine
like that, your parents
the
did
video
that.
that you had smoking, you feel me?
At first, yo,
They get mad?
I used to do videos back in the day, and I used to be like, I even stopped posting on Facebook because I was like, that's where my parents is at, and I'm there smoking. That's when I was young, like 16, still, like, you know, when you still trying to
I'm
hide
talking
it.
about the music video though.
That's what I'm talking about.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
So it was like I had it, and then they finally saw it, and like they know I was smoking, and like, you know, it was just like whatever.
Yeah,
That shit was
that's
crazy.
it.
For episode 28, that was the first time that I had ever smoked on camera.
Okay.
I was
You be
nervous.
thinking about it like, damn, who's
I
gonna
was
see
like,
this?
who's
but
gonna
whatever,
see it? And then it's crazy
no
because
we.
like, shout out to my coworkers that watch the show. They're like, they'll be watching it, and then they'll be like, "Oh, I saw this episode." And I'm like, "Lord, please just don't watch episode 28."
Yeah.
But yeah.
Damn, coworkers, you know what I'm saying?
Nah, I mean it's all good because I'm not doing it at work.
Gotta work, yeah.
And it's a cigarette for the kids, so
Yeah, that's a fact.
You already
you know.
It's a jewel. Jewel pod.
Okay, so you guys, the name of the project is Vice City, but you guys said that you guys are also using that like as like your group name.
Vice City Boys.
But where did that come from? Like Vice City.
Miami.
Yeah. Is that why like the cover art and stuff like that is like very like
very
like
Miami,
neon?
very Vice City, very
That was in South Beach. Like we took the picture right there.
It's not like edited.
And you know we're taking like that whole Tony
in the
Montana,
background.
you know what I'm saying, Scarface vibe too. That's what we're trying to do. Honestly, we're trying to like tap into that. It's kind of, you know what I'm saying, like we're trying to do something cliche different. You know what I'm saying? Because Vice City is kind of like, it's popping now, you feel me? And the Scarface.
Actually, I've seen a lot of people now bringing that theme back too. As we've been like promoting, I've seen some people dropping shit called Vice City. Or I've seen some people, you know, and it's like it's coming back. So it could have been that same thing that sparked our interest in it, that sparked their interest. It's not saying so much like, oh, everybody's copying. None of that shit, man.
The heat colors, you feel me? The heat
that too.
Shit like that.
That's 100. You see how the Heat brought that back too? Like this year they did that neon. Yeah, so it's like. Whatever, you know, you never know what it was that sparked our interest, that sparked their interest. So it's
I just feel like we wanted to rep Miami.
That's a fact, yeah. We had it. The name was gonna be Different Drip at first, and then somehow, some way, the Vice City just came on. Oh, shout out Mike, matter of fact, shout out Mike.
Yeah, shout out
Mike was the one that one of our boys, Mike. He was the one that was like.
Yeah, cause he's always on that wave, like South Beach, Vice City, Vice City, that. So we kind of took that from him. We got influenced by his
That's something people that come here, like when they go to Ocean Drive, like they want to see like those lights that are on that picture that you guys see on the side.
That's a fact.
Then you guys can see like that's pretty much like what people come and then that's what they fall in love with here. They're like, oh, the lights, the beach is right there, and then you can walk, and then there's food, and then there's music. South Beach is like a whole nother world.
So you see that feeling? That's what we want to do with
the
music.
We're trying to take onto wax.
Yeah.
Give it out.
You know
and I mean, cause you guys have Spanish tracks on there too, right? You guys like.
Yeah.
So
did you talk in Spanish? Did you rap in Spanish?
So I did do one in Spanish, but we working on that because you know it's my first little go around. My second actually little go around.
Hey
so
man, if Drake could do it.
Yeah, that's a fact. And I actually talk Spanish, but it's just different to rap in Spanish. So shout out to all the Spanish trappers, Spanish all that, because that shit is, you know, it's an art. You know?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I've been doing for a long time. Like doing that whole vibe, putting the English and Spanish music together.
Yeah.
You know, doing.
And we actually had the album finished without a Spanish thing, and then one day we were talking, and we are like, yo, why haven't we done like that's one thing that's one of our powers. Like, why haven't we done that? And that was like 2 weeks ago, and he was like, all right, he got to work. He sent me 3 tracks in like 3 days, 3 different Spanishes, and
you know, Latinos are like the #1 consumers, like in like
I didn't.
The United
That's
States.
that was always my point. It's like, yo, imagine what part of the world speaks Spanish.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that. I remember
what
that.
percentage of the world?
I mean, we have all of Central America, South America that speak Spanish. There's some people. There's some people that literally just off of the beat. Like, how do you think that like these artists like Bad Bunny, like Maluma, goes on tour to these countries that don't know Spanish? But you know, it's just like the Spanish world is just a whole nother culture that the entire world wants.
Yeah.
So then to be in hip hop and then to also be a Latino or a Latina, I think it's just so cool because we're the #1 consumers of this culture as well.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, so it's like really important, at least to me, to like be a Latina that's doing this and who's working in hip hop and who's trying to make it into something that, you know, it's big, and it's not just big for myself, but also people who I surround myself with. You know, like artists that I just want to help.
Yeah. We definitely gotta help each other out, you know, and shout out to that, man. We need more Latinos in the hip hop game, man. Definitely,
and like rapping and cause the beats that like you make, like if he were to like just do it in Spanish, like a voice like that, like in Spanish, like I just feel like would just sound so cool.
Yo, you know what?
And y'all have
another artist that I work with was saying that the other day. Sean was saying that he's like, yo, man.
Shout out Sean Brady,
man. Shout out Sean Brady, man.
Dropping
out, Brady. From to you, I think. But man, shout out Sean Brady. But yeah, he was saying that too. That his voice is good for Spanish, you know. So I mean, we definitely gonna drop something with that, you know.
We got that one track.
You get a little uptown vibe.
Something like that.
Yo, actually, kind of does, yo.
Something like that. It's different. That's when I heard that track, I was like, it's different. That's what I love about it. But everything he creates is different. It's from his heart. It's like from his soul, so it's like
the
different.
The songs that you produced in the John Fifth, was it the story by John Fifth?
Yeah.
The ones I like those.
So what I got on there, yo?
Don't,
you got
isn't it Sex? What is it?
Sex and Chicks. Actually, he was just featured on that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
you got one on it though, right? I believe
I did.
so.
I got a beat on it or something like that.
I believe so.
Pull it up.
I mean, I got like two. I got like. I know I got like at least 4 or 5 that made like the pre-cut.
Yeah. Nah, he sent me a couple. Nah, you know when you're creating a project, you creating a vibe. So it's like if it don't match the vibe, it's not necessarily.
Oh, it doesn't say. I thought that.
Yeah, let me see. Oh, no, I forgot. I told you that was me. Nah, yeah, I didn't.
No.
I didn't put none of them on it, but we saved them for Vice City, so check out Vice City.
For sure.
Yeah, I didn't get any. I mean, I made tracks for that album, but you know, it didn't just fit like the whole vibe of that stuff.
Are there any other artists on this project? Or is it just you two?
As of
no,
now, no.
Right? No.
But it might change because we keep making music as we're working out what we're.
These guys couldn't even give me a date on when this was gonna drop.
The thing is, we working.
Honestly, we want to drop in March, yo. But
it's not even about we want to drop. We're waiting to get the right
Yeah.
opportunity to drop it because we don't just want to do what we've done in the
Talk
past.
your shit, John.
You feel me? You feel me? I'm telling you. I drop my project, I drop another project, I drop another project, and it's like you can't just keep doing the same thing expecting a different result. You know to say that, so that's why I have a couple people out there. He got his own connects, and we're just working the project to create that lane for it.
Yeah.
So it's
But
necessary.
you know
We got
what?
this shit
Like,
done.
look, we're gonna keep it 100 with y'all. If like we don't see that we're gonna drop the project soon, we're gonna drop a single of it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And yeah, we talked about
You
that.
gonna co-sign that?
That's a fact. Yeah. We did speak about it.
We make one executive decision.
Yeah.
You know, oh, damn.
It's not even like that, man. Come on. Shit, we got the same power in this.
It's like you just stay in the.
Let me run that by my assistant. Let me see what see how we feel about it.
Feed me beats. That's all I get from him.
Dang, Lil Wayne is good. Okay, so Vice City is the name of the project. The name of the group is basically like in Miami, so it has like kind of that vibe mixed with like the lyricism and.
I think it's like.
What can they expect?
Yeah,
like,
our vibe is like a down south, up north niggas.
That makes sense. Yeah.
Down south, up north.
You feel me? Like, you know, our delivery is gonna be like that, like kind of up north. Yeah. But then there's gonna be something that's gonna be more like melodic, more like the you know, I guess more commercial, you could say. And I think I'm good at that, making commercial music, like music for the radio.
That's a fact.
So,
I like making more deep music. I like making more, you know? And that's where he helps me a lot because he's always been real, like, you know, commercial driven. He can make deep music too, but I'm just saying, as far as dropping music and as far as creating a project, he's always been real.
Yeah, I mean, he's working a lot with the industry and the labels and stuff like that. That's what they want.
Facts, that's what they want.
So I kind of just, you know, I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do that shit for myself.
Yeah.
And fuck doing it for all these other people. Cause
doing that shit for yourself.
So that's what we're doing, you know what I'm saying? We just, that's what the Vice Cities are. We talk a lot about that, you know, working with the industry. And, you know, we just kind of want to bring our style out to you guys. You feel me? And that's why, like, see how, like, when I explain it, you kind of don't really get it. Once you hear the music, I feel like you'll be like, okay, I see what you're saying. You feel me?
I feel like there's nothing we could compare it to.
Yeah, because it's like you guys are your own artists, and then you guys are two, like, because he's saying that he's commercial and you're very like lyricism. So it's like putting that together is just like, how does that work? But it does, because you know you guys.
I feel like obviously the fact that we grew up together, and you know,
y'all got a one up on the game.
You feel me? He knows like the style. That's why I'm kind of letting him take that role of picking the tracks and everything. And he's helping the tracks too. I'm not the only one doing it. And he's the one picking it, you feel me? I'm not even doing anything. So he's the one that's picked all the tracks. And it just so happens that, you know, it's been, I produce all the tracks. You know what I'm saying? So, he's good at that, putting like the whole vibes together. And you know, he's a lot younger than I am. So, you know what I'm saying? A little bit.
We are young.
So yeah, I feel like, you know, it's like, you see one Looney Tunes, you feel me? Oh, not Looney Tunes. Pharrell and what? I
The
forgot.
Neptunes?
You know, I got, you feel me? Yo, y'all didn't see because I do the Spanish game too. You feel me?
Yeah.
The Neptunes.
So I mean, like the other dude was like, kind of in the studio in the background. Pharrell was out there. You feel me? That's kind of what I see as like right now. You feel me?
That's 100.
So
Sitting
you know,
in the front.
That's 100.
you know
Little
what I'm
brother
saying?
in the front.
Yeah, I mean.
Were you like
Okay.
stealing his CDs when you were younger?
My oldest brother, Fredo. Shout out Fredo again. I wasn't really
He
stealing
wouldn't
them. They
put
were
his
putting
on,
me
so,
on.
yeah.
They would tell me like, yo, you learn this shit. Like, you know, it would be, I'm the little brother, so I'm always trying to fit in with them. And it's like, learning the tracks is like, yeah, that's like the cool shit. So I was
Yeah.
learning this shit and I was just rolling with them.
It was,
He didn't used to want me to roll with them actually. He used to
Man,
fight me
now
like,
look
yo,
at
why
y'all.
we bringing this little ass nigga?
Now
Like,
look at
man.
y'all made a whole project together.
Yeah.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Definitely.
Well, okay, so I wanted to say this because I didn't get a chance to say this a couple of episodes ago, but because I did bring it up about that my grandfather wasn't doing well, and just to keep you guys updated that he did pass away, but my family is doing well, and I just wanted to say thank you guys. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who extended their arms and their prayers and their condolences to me and my family. I definitely felt it. I was in peace for a lot of days, and you know, I'm happy that he's in a better place now. So thank you to everybody for extending that. And yeah, so R.I.P. to my grandpa, my abuelito. I also wanted to mention the Freestyle Friday competition that we still have going on. In order for you guys to join, all you have to do is spit a freestyle with any beat that you would like. You can post it on your Instagram and make sure that you use the hashtag Ambition Hour Freestyle and tag the Ambition Hour podcast page. That way I can see it and we can feature you on, you know, on a Freestyle Friday clip that we have on Fridays. For episode 57, the artist that we had, he was actually one of the people that submitted a freestyle and got posted, and he got to come and do an interview with us. So you never know what a freestyle, you know, could do for
Submit
you.
those freestyle, y'all.
Yeah,
You
submit
feel
those
me?
Get it in.
freestyle.
Get it
Submit
in.
the freestyle. You never know. You might be, you know, sitting here chilling with me. Are you guys shooting any videos for this?
Hell
We definitely
Shit,
are.
we want to try to shoot
That's a
the
fact.
most videos we can.
Yeah.
You know, that's how it is. We trying to give y'all the most content possible. So
We're waiting to finish the project to pick the best songs to shoot, but we really trying to do the whole fucking project videos. We just choosing the best to shoot in order.
The visual albums, like, that's
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah, that's
Solange
like-
did that. Solange just dropped an album,
Oh, yeah?
and so did 2
dope,
Chainz.
dope.
Solange's like whole thing is, it's like a movie.
Yeah,
It makes
like every
sense
track.
because her man is like a really big director.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
He's directed like videos for like Jay-Z, Beyonce, and I found that out, you know, when you like
Doing your research.
doing my
Yeah.
research.
No,
I'm like,
that's dope,
who's she
man.
married to?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then so she came out with an album. I thought that was pretty cool that, you know, she came out with like a visual album, but I don't know cuz I think you know this artist Boogie?
A Boogie or
No,
Boogie from the West Side?
Yeah.
Okay.
His project also, like the day before it dropped, he came out with an entire visual album.
Okay.
Like, and it was just like snippets of each song that was on the project, and that
Crazy.
shit was so dope. It made a lot more sense when the project dropped,
Yeah.
because it's like, oh, okay, now I get it. But I think that that's so cool. For me, we drop a video every single Saturday.
Yeah.
Dub T Dub Saturday. We're not gonna for this week. There's gonna be a video coming soon. We just shot of the video for Hennessy, so shout out to Ishi.
Hey,
Hav,
shouts to Ish.
Yans.
Shout out Ish. 100.
Bro,
Yeah,
it's just
yo.
the best. It's just like awesome as hell.
Yo,
I'm
big
actually
facts,
going
man.
to where this man's question.
Shouts to Quinn Gibbs.
Oh yeah, cause they know Quinn. Quinn is he's also a local rapper. And then one of the videos that he has that recently dropped, Ish was the director of it. So make sure that you go ahead and check that out. It's on it's actually on, what is it? Dead Broke Millionaires on YouTube.
Oh,
Look,
yes, man.
bruh, I know that Ishi watches this shit, so shout out to Ishi and making your head
Ish.
big.
You already know what time it is, boy.
What up?
And so one of the questions that he likes to ask that he wrote down for me, because it's now one of my favorite questions, is I'm gonna ask you first, and it's if someone asked you, how do I get to be just like you, what would you tell them?
I would say spend a lot of time playing instruments.
Fact.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's facts though. Spend a lot of time in your craft. Be dedicated, and just keep trying to raise the bar. Keep trying to do innovative stuff. You know what I'm saying? So.
What about you?
Be yourself 1,000,000%, and don't give a fuck what nobody tells you, man. Don't give a fuck who dislikes you. Don't give a fuck who tries to discredit you. Just don't give a fuck. Like I said.
So John's biggest advice:
don't give a fuck. You hear me?
In big letters, if we can. That's something that like recently I've been like really implementing in my life, like the not giving a fuck type of thing. And let me tell you, life has gotten a lot better.
That's what it is. Once you start, once you give a fuck about you and not about external shit you can't control, it's beautiful. Like it's
it was funny because probably like around episode 20, that's when I noticed that there was a shift in the episodes and like in my mood, because I was so afraid to talk about certain things. Like I have not seen our interview, or even Dino. Shout out to Dino, who's in the building as well. I think
my nigga Dino, that's a minute, yo. I was waiting for the right time to say, yo, Dino music, that's my nigga, yo.
That's actually how I found out about you. Well, I found out about you guys at the same time. Cause they also have like songs together, and then and I loved it. But like I haven't seen the interview that I have with both of you, like because I'm just so like I know it's not that good.
It was dope. I liked it.
Yeah, no, it was fun. It was cool. It was just first episode, 15 episode. It was like damn. Cause like episode 20 was just like that's when I was really like. Cause I had gotten some really good advice from EFN. So shout out to EFN. He was just like, yo, just be yourself. He was just like, yo, just for real, hard.
Hard body.
Hard.
That's why I fucks with. I don't know EFN, but I fucks with anybody that reps Kendall on that level.
He's having this he's gonna be featured in the Miami Film Festival because he has a Coming Home Columbia coming out. So it's pretty dope. I'm gonna be out there, so I'm excited because I saw the other ones. Dino, have you seen them?
Yeah.
You've seen them, right? They're pretty dope. You guys have to check them out.
Yeah, I went to the premiere in New York, and what happened that day?
What happened?
It snowed.
Not even. It's just it got pushed up earlier at the time. Something like that. So I didn't get to watch it in the theaters, but I definitely checked it out after, and it was dope.
No, it's a pretty dope thing that he's doing. That he's going to like all these different countries, and he's finding the hip hop culture in those countries.
That's a fact. It's
and like
crazy.
he finds like b-boys and like all that shit. So he gave me that that advice because he has a podcast. So I was just like, what advice would you give somebody who has a podcast? And his thing was just like, just be yourself. Yeah. Because as long as you're yourself, like nobody can tell you really anything. And then ever since that, I was just like, I don't really.
And then it's for sure original content. You feel me?
Oh yeah, I mean, and then ever since then, like, the more and more that I stopped caring about like what other people think, like I just started getting more stuff. I started getting the background. I started like not that I was basing off of that, but sometimes when you care, you're like, oh, I shouldn't get that because
maybe this is
this isn't the right one, or maybe is this the right light bulb, or like whatever. Okay, so that was an awesome question. Do we still have time?
We got an hour.
Oh, we had an hour. Oh, guys, we made it to the hour. All right. Well, I'm gonna go ahead and close it out. I just want to say thank you guys so much for coming here.
Thank you for
having us.
So I know that you guys have the project next, but what is next?
Vice City 2. And then we're working on our own projects.
Solos. We got this
young lady over there.
So much.
We're just doing a bunch of music right now, but definitely we working on just rapping on Vice City 1. And Vice City 2 is already on the raps because we made so many freaking tracks. I'm just saying,
they probably have like 100 tracks that we don't.
It's just so crazy.
You guys should pull the LeBron and like call it a deluxe version.
It's a lot.
So I mean, damn, I hope it's worth the wait, for people that are tuned in. You feel me?
Say that.
So
funny that you mentioned that.
Yeah, exactly. So you already know what time it is, man. Vice City vibes. That's all we trying to do. Just.
Do you know when you're dropping a project or not yet?
So I'm focused all on Vice City. So I got the songs finished. I'm just not focusing on the release date of that because you focus on too many things at once. You're not gonna really give your best to that one. So Vice City's right now.
For right now, that's what it is. Vice City. We're just all in on that.
All right. So you guys just make sure that you follow the Ambition Hour podcast and my Instagram, AuDii Ambition, so you guys know when their project drops, because I'm for sure going to be promoting it on both pages because I'm excited for it to drop. I'm officially a fan, so I'm really excited for this project to drop. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Remember that if you are not subscribed, to go ahead and join the family, the DubTDub family, that is. And hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell on the side. That way you get notified each and every single time that we drop something. Remember that it's WTW Saturdays, each and every single Saturday, going strong. A new podcast, a new song, and a new video. This is your girl, AuDii 3000, with GDaVinci and John Fifth. My special guest for today on episode 58. This is your girl, AuDii 3000, and we out!
Peace. Peace.